another dimension. A dimension not only of work and earnings, but of pension and leisure. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. You unlock this door with Social Security's retirement estimator and online benefit application. Next stop, the retirement zone. Picture a man sitting at his home computer. He isn't sure whether he should apply now or work a little longer and begin receiving benefits at age 70. He's about to find out with a visit to the retirement estimator. The estimator uses his past earnings and allows him to key in variable future earnings and retirement dates to complete the picture of a retirement he'd like to live. Enter the retirement zone yourself. Visit www.socialsecurity.gov. That's www.socialsecurity.gov. We'll see you in the retirement zone.
And here is the Writer's Almanac for Monday. It's the 11th of November, 2013, Veterans Day, honoring Americans who served in the armed forces. Originally called Armistice Day because it was on this date, 1918, the Allies and Germany signed an armistice agreement to end World War I. By late summer 1918, the war had become unpopular in Germany. In early October, the Chancellor Max von Baden sent a telegraph to Woodrow Wilson requesting a ceasefire. And Wilson said he wouldn't negotiate while Kaiser Wilhelm remained in power. So Wilhelm abdicated, fled the country on November 10th, and the new civilian government quickly said they would sign an armistice on whatever terms the Allies put forward. Essentially, it gutted the German military of its supplies. Germany had to agree to accept all the blame, pay all the reparations for the war, which German leaders viewed as extremely punitive, but they were in no position to do anything but agree to the terms. It was signed, the armistice, outside Paris, 6 o'clock in the morning in a railway carriage, took effect 5 hours later at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. It's the birthday of the comedian Jonathan Winters, born in Bellbrook, Ohio, 1925. Dropped out of high school, joined the Marines, came home, studied cartooning, won a talent contest doing impressions of movie stars, got a job as a morning DJ, making up fake personalities and interviewing himself on the radio. Went to New York, tried to make it as a stand-up comedian, and instead of doing impressions of celebrities, which other comedians did, he created his own characters, starting with an old woman named Maud Fricker, based on an aunt back in Ohio who had taught him to play poker and drink wine when he was 9 years old, and Elwood P. Suggins, who used to be fire chief until they realized that he was the one who was setting all the fires. Jonathan Winters, who said, "I couldn't wait for success, so I went ahead without it." It's the birthday of Kurt Vonnegut, born in Indianapolis, 1922, author of Slaughterhouse-Five, Cat's Cradle, Breakfast of Champions, Time Quake, and many other books. He was the youngest child in the family, always desperate to get some attention, so he worked hard to be funny. He later said, "That's what my books are, now that I'm a grown-up, mosaics of jokes." He said, "All the great storylines are great practical jokes that people fall for over and over again." And it's the birthday of Fyodor Dostoevsky, born in Moscow, 1821, whose career as a writer was launched when he was arrested, blindfolded, brought before a firing squad, and then was pardoned at the last minute and not shot. Here's a poem for today by Louis Jenkins, entitled The Big Bang. When the morning comes that you don't wake up, what remains of your life goes on as some kind of electromagnetic energy. There's a slight chance you might appear on someone's screen as a dot. Face it, you are a blip or a ping, part of the background noise, the residue of the Big Bang. You remember the Big Bang, don't you? You were about 26 years old, driving a brand new red and white Chevy convertible, with a beautiful blonde girl at your side. Charlene was her name. You had a case of beer on ice in the back, cruising down Highway number 7 on a summer afternoon, and then you parked near Loon Lake just as the moon began to rise. Way back then, you said to yourself, boy, it doesn't get any better than this. And you were right. The Big Bang, a poem by Louis Jenkins, from Tin Flag, new and selected prose poems, published by Will-o'-the-Wisp Books and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Supported by PBS, presenting a new presidential portrait from American Experience. JFK premieres tonight at 8 Central on PBS. Produced by Joy Biles, assistance from Kathy Roach. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.
This is the Composer's Datebook for November 11th. I'm John Zak. At 11 a.m. on today's date in 1918, the Allied powers signed a ceasefire agreement with Germany in a railway carriage in the forest of Compiègne in France, bringing to an end the enormous physical and emotional devastation of the First World War. And if you're looking for a precise point at which the world of the 19th century really and truly ended, this might be as good a one as any. The post-1918 world was a traumatized new age, disillusioned with a tarnished past. And in the arts, figures like Igor Stravinsky and Pablo Picasso emerged offering new ways of looking and listening. At the exact hour the armistice was being signed in France, Stravinsky was in Switzerland, putting the finishing touches to a chamber orchestra piece he titled Ragtime. This music was inspired by American jazz, and just as the minuet seemed appropriate for the 18th century and the waltz for the 19th, Stravinsky seemed to be saying a jazz dance might be just the thing for the 20th. Looking back at that moment, Stravinsky wrote, "Jazz meant, in any case, a wholly new sound in my music, and marks my final break with the Russian orchestral school in which I had been fostered." It's lean, brash, and sharp-edged modern music, and when Stravinsky's Ragtime was published in 1919, it featured a lean, brash, and sharp-edged modern cover drawing for the score by Stravinsky's good friend and occasional collaborator, Pablo Picasso. Composer's Datebook is produced by APM, American Public Media, in conjunction with the American Composers Forum, reminding you that all music was once new.
Sing a song. Welcome back to Studio 27 on this Veterans Day morning. Yours truly, Joe Hafner, here at the controls. And coming up in a little bit, we'll have Today in History, as well as the CBS World News Roundup across our wide Missouri is also on the way. Let's see if I still have it here. Just bear with me for just a moment. Yep, there it is. Right now, though, let's put an end to digging through Tom, Dick, and Harry for just a little bit as we make our great escape. And it's time for celebrity birthdays. Okay? So, oh, this is about over. Now, celebrity birthday time.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you? Other people have birthdays. Why are we treating yours like a funeral?
Balls, I don't want to be lectured.
And take a look at celebrity birthdays for today. Run down this quick list. Newly divorced Demi Moore. You know, of course, married to Ashton Kutcher for a number of years, and also to Bruce Willis. Remember her from Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, and G.I. Jane. She is 51 today. Callista Flockhart of Ally McBeal fame and Brothers and Sisters. She is 49, and I also understand that's her weight. Leonardo DiCaprio of J. Edgar Hoover and Inception is 39. And I told you it's a short list. Those are celebrity birthdays for today, and incidentally, if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. Now, let's get ready to go back in time, shall we? For a little segment we like to call Today in History. And I have room for one passenger in the time machine, and I've chosen you. Yeah, you. So let's come on up here and get ready to go back in time. And let me get things set up here. So shut off the music there, turn on the time circuits, and start the car. And as we go back in time, we go to November 11th, the year 1817. November 11th, 1817, to New York City. The first Ford swallower, the first sword. Let's try that one more time. The first sword follower. I can tell I'm tired. The first sword swallower to perform in America appeared in New York City. Apparently the guy didn't have a name, but he also needed to see a big city doctor about his sore throat. That took entirely too long.